Hey Branches, Mike Curl coming at you with another weekend update. We're so glad that you're tuning into this. It's probably Thursday when you're checking this out, but if I'm catching you on a Saturday morning, or even if you're doing this before Sunday morning service, I'm just glad that you're tuning in to find out what's going on this coming weekend. You're finding us in the middle of a series called It's Personal, where we're covering topics that I think actually matter to all of us. All of us experience jealousy, all of us experience greed, many of us experience either motherhood or fatherhood and marriage. And so each week has a topic or a set of topics that there will be an interview format where you'll be able to connect with something or maybe even everything that the person being interviewed says. And I just want to thank Brandy for coming on stage last week and being interviewed by Daniel. I'm sure that was kind of a nervous thing, but I learned a lot, and I'm not even a mom, and I hope that it was something that was impactful for the mothers at home as well. Speaking of the online experience that we've been going through in the season, we also do a new segment that's been going on. This will be the third week we've been doing it, where we do something called Talking Branches after the service. Now, if you typically will tune out at the end of a message and then you'll just turn off and go off to do your day, I encourage you to stick around afterwards. It's about a 15 to 20 minute interview where Timmy actually interviews Daniel to talk about what just went on in the message or in the interview in this particular case, as well as to answer some of the questions that you may have posted while online. Because in this season, it's kind of unique. You get to actually have comments and post questions during the message, during the service. So, if you're like, Josh just looks great with that hat on, you can say that during the service. And, we may even respond to that during the Talking Branches segment. So definitely tune in online. Speaking of tuning in, we've been trying to push everybody into one platform. We know we do make it available on Facebook. We make it available on YouTube as well. But we do want to kind of encourage everybody to tune into the live.branches.tv service. That's where a lot of the staff are in, so that we're doing like hosting duties there, where we're actually taking prayer requests from people. It allows you to respond to certain parts of the message. You'll see links when we're talking about links, things like that. So it's really the best experience. It's one that we're focusing a lot of attention and time on. So we don't want to eliminate Facebook. We don't want to eliminate YouTube. We know those are easy to share for people, but if you've got the time and you've got the will, please tune in to live.branches.tv where you can actually participate with the service, because we want to be able to do that with you. Now, in this season, I do want to take a moment to thank the teams that have still been serving in this difficult time, actually. The production team, the band team, the communicators that have come in. I know that even the cleaning crew comes in because we're not the cleanest people. And so I just want to thank them wholeheartedly. Thank you so much for serving in this time. For those of you who aren't aware, normally when we meet in this space, there's chairs everywhere, and it would be very difficult to set up some of the environments that you've probably seen on camera in the season. And they've been doing that every week, lighting changes and camera placement, and we've all learned a ton of stuff. But I'm sure, just like the rest of you, that I would like to see this season kind of start to wrap down and actually go to an end. And while we're currently in a climate that's left us with many unknowns, I personally have seen God do some incredible things throughout this. So I don't want to say that it's all bad or that it's any one particular way. One of the things that stuck out for me is that we've been interacting with churches just on a staff level all across the country. We've been interacting with churches on the East Coast, churches in Willamette, churches in St. Helens, where we've either been receiving resources and help, advice from other people, or we've been actually able to give advice and to share the learnings that we've had in the season. And I'm so thankful to God for presenting that time and that opportunity for us to grow those networks and those connections with other churches. And finally, we've been in this season for a long time, and I don't want us to feel like seasons are forever. Seasons are seasons. They do change. They cycle in, they cycle out. And sometimes we don't see the same season ever again. And this may be one of those. Now, I do know that we're going to be in this for a little bit longer, but there is some light at the end of the tunnel. It sounds like some of the states, including ours, may be opening up soon. What that looks like for churches, though, is probably a little bit unique and may cause you to have some impatience. So I just want to set you down a little bit and just let you know, hey, we are definitely monitoring the situation. We're coming up with plans that we will be able to share with you as soon as we have them on how reopening would look, how long it will take to do that, what kind of a phase we'd have to go through. I'm pretty sure that churches won't be the first thing that gets to open up, but will certainly be one of those important services that gets to happen before too long. So we may be in this for a few more weeks, maybe in this for a few more months, but I want you to be patient. I want to thank you for that patience that you've already given us, and thank you so much for tuning in each week at 10:30 a.m. on Sundays. We'll see you this weekend as well as we explore the topic of greed and generosity, and a special guest, John Lee, will be here to talk about that with Daniel. So tune in this weekend, 10:30 a.m. on Sunday. Tune in at Branches TV, live.branches.tv, or Facebook or YouTube, and we'll see you then.